Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which aired from December 14th, 1987 through to November 2nd, 1996, was one of the biggest cartoons to come out of the 1980s through to 1990s era, the golden age of cartoons, and became one of the biggest pop phenomenons in just about all of pop culture, with everything from video games to toys to party gear to just about everything else on the planet. There was nowhere you could look without seeing the four Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle brothers, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. For those of you that have followed on with the series Toys on a Tuesday over at the Outer Haven, you would see that the original Turtles are still a big point of contention when it comes to toys. Probably some of the most valuable toys in the series that has spanned over 40 years. While the cartoon series ended with the horrible Red Sky series, the toys went on to continue for many, many more years, but were bogged down by many gimmicky styles. In 1997, Turtles fans thought that things were going to be different with the beginning of the next mutation, which started on September 12th, 1997, featuring live-action performers much like those in the 1990, 91, and 93 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. However, even the creators of Power Rangers could not save this abomination of a TV show from absolutely tanking the Turtles franchise when it ended in 1998. Hey Playmates, this is the one series you haven't done yet, and it might have been bad, but it still needs the toys for the collection. Since 1998, there was a large gap where no Turtles products were being produced, at least in line with any current TV show. But then, in February 8th of 2023, 4Kids TV premiered the newest version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is now known as the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show. This new show was darker, a bit more gritty, referencing the comic books by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Spanning an initial 4 seasons, with the 5th being a DVD exclusive, the 2003 series would become known as one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adaptations ever made. Released in time for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 40th anniversary, Playmate Toys, along with Head Start Toys Australia, have given us a chance to take a look at the 2003 retro re-release of the original 2003 toys. So here we are with the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 reissue set. Probably have a quick look at them in box before we get them out of the box and let them breathe some air for the first time since the factory. The boxes are a dead-on replica for the original 2003 series. The only big difference is the 40 years of TMNT logo that is a part of the current celebration. So we'll get a quick look at Leo in the box there. And then we got his information on the back. Of course, obviously, we didn't have, YouTube and Facebook and website stuff on the 2003 versions. All the information has been updated to comply with current regulations when it comes to selling toys and product. But as you can see there, we get a breakdown of what Leonardo has in the box. The other Turtles that are in the set, quick breakdown, and of course, back to the character card. Pretty much the same thing across the board with all 4. As you can see here, we'll go quickly to Donatello. You can see exactly what he's got there in the box. Same type of thing on the back. Little blurb, shows you what he's got. 4 Turtles. And information card. Raphael, same deal. I do like the look of these boxes. They do stand out, at least they did back in 2003. These days, boxes are very devoid of personality. I will still say the best boxes for the Turtles line are definitely the 1980s because it was customized to each character. There's a quick look at Mikey there. And again, screw stuff on the back. He's all good. So, that's the four in the box. Well, how they look out of the box. That's quite easy to see. Though I will say, like, these are straight out of the box. So I haven't even changed the poses that they have coming out of the box. Just because I think the feet are actually set best for their posability. And of course, I put these completely off center, so anybody who has OCD, deal with it. So there's the boys as they are out of the box. Now, just before I get too far into the accessories and the characters themselves, one thing I will mention, you get these in every box. You get two little shuriken looking things. They're in every single box. You can't really hold them in the turtle's hands. You can't really do like a throwing motion or anything with them. They're probably a really bad accessory to have put in there, but they needed something else. So we'll get looking into the boys. We have Leonardo, obviously, going to start with Leo, as you do, because the order, by law, or by every single Turtles fan will tell you, it is Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, and if you do any different order, you are wrong. So, the basic look of the figure itself, quite nice, is very representative of the 2003 style. They have the wide eyes when they're in their sort of action phase, slight smirk. A lot of this does reference the original Turtles. In regards to the face sculpt, Leo had the little side smirk. Raph has smirk on both sides. Donatello is smirk on the left. And Michelangelo is full mouth. So those stay as they have been from the 1988 toys. So obviously Leo, the bandana, that is molded in place while it is flexible. You can't turn it down, can't move it any way. So he's always going to have that sideways wind coming across him. As per usual, the belt, while not really removable in this particular style, you can you can disconnect it, though I wouldn't really recommend it because they are a pain in the butt to try and get back on. He has the traditional across and up over the left-hand shoulder, as it has been since the beginning of time. He's obviously got the sheath for his katanas on the back. And, yeah, basically, he has foot. He's got pegs for any vehicles that may come, though I really doubt it with this particular line. And then you've got his katanas. Yeah, they are very flexible rubber, which I really don't like. And this has been the problem with the line ever since the original, is that they never get weaponry to the point where it's not going to bend. Like coming out, just to give you an example, I'll take both swords off. They are very tight in his hands, but that's just make sure he holds them. Like, this is me holding them. As you can see, the hilts are straight. The swords are crossed. That's how much warping has happened just from sitting in the package. This is fresh out of the package just before I started the review. Now, I can try and straighten them, but they always go back. Like, they're gonna always be off mold. It's probably the biggest design flaw I've seen with Leonardo's katanas, and this goes all the way back to the original 1988 design too, where the plastic was just too thin and it warped. And these are more of a rubber design, so it's sort of a soft, malleable plastic, sort of rubberish design, and they are not all that great. Even trying to get it back in his hands. But yeah, so that sort of gives you an idea of the swords. Then don't expect great quality. Rough size are the same thing. Donatello's bow staff is always going to be probably the best weapon out of the lot. And Michelangelo's nunchucks, I'll get to them in a minute. So just going over the basic articulation of the figure so I don't sort of repeat myself too often. We start with the head. Nice, tight, because they're straight out of the package. 360-degree head movement. Full 360 wrist. That one's actually a bit loose. So is that. But that's not too bad. The fingers are not articulated. You do have a 360 rotation at the elbow or bicep joint. You can do full rotation of the arm. And you've also got, I don't know if you can sort of catch it on camera, but you see that there? Nice, tight ratchet joint to move it up and down on both shoulders. So you get a bit of posability out of him. It's not too bad. Put the swords away. And that's the other thing, is that because they're not straight, as you can see, this front-facing one is curved. It's going to warp the weapon as well. So I'm going to say to a lot of collectors, if you are doing out-of-box collecting, work out whether you're going to have him posed with or without the swords, and go from there. But back to articulation, he's got full rotation and a ratchet joint to move up and down, and that's about it. Like this is one of those things that I sort of get annoyed with the earlier molds. And just to demonstrate it again, because this is a screwed up camera, full 360, and he's got the ratchet joint there. So the toys are all the same articulation per, which is pretty cool. The only thing that sort of tries to set them apart is that they do different things. Like Leonardo, I still don't know how you're supposed to get these on. I don't know if you're meant to be gripping. Like, he's got suction cups, so I don't know if you're supposed to be gripping like that, or if you're meant to sort of force the suction cup into his hand and use that as like a brace. So I'm not too sure how you're supposed to do that. Like trying to get them into the hands, the molds are extremely tight. Especially this hand. It's like I'm literally, as you can see, I'm having to actually bend the mold, and I possibly did some damage to it just to get it to fit in the hands. So that might not be the way you meant to do it, but those molds are extremely tight. I did a lot of that trying to work it out. As for does he stick to a wall? Nope. I should probably show that on camera. Now, The idea is they're meant to suction to the wall. They do not. Plastic is very molded, is very tight. Even trying to suction... Oh, you can do it suction to glass, is what I've just realised. So, to give you an idea, and I do apologise because this is using my own backyard as an example. I've got to find the side with the window. You will suction onto the window. So he suctions well onto the window, and that's about it. Can't do it on walls. Windows are going to be the best thing. So if you want to hang him off your car, you can do that. But other than that, that's probably all you can get. Now I'll leave him there to see how long he sits. As we go back to the rest of the boys. So everybody has their own little gimmick. And we'll move on to Rafi. As I said, same ratchet joint. Sort of got to fiddle with the arms a bit to get the posability working, but it works. He also has the same flexible plastic, rubber, whatever. So the size may warp as well. Now, here comes the problem I have with this one particular figure, this Raphael. Look at where his side holders are. They are underneath his armpits. So, if you want to put them in, you got to bend. Like, as you can see, I'm having trouble getting it through that gap. It's like you got to bend it or something. Angle it in. There you go. And then look at that. Like, that is horrible design. Like, that's good. That's good. Look at that. Look at how warped that is off just one time. That's terrible design. But 2003 can't really do much about it now. With Raphael, at least you can put the size in like that so you're not struggling with the hands. So it's like just in, out, no problems. Remove his size for the moment. Now, his gimmick is meant to be this. Like a skyline, we call them a flying fox here in Australia, where it's like a zip line thing where he's... But can you see the one problem that we have with this? Can you see it? We have no line for this. So you have to go and make your own line. You're going to have to find something that's going to fit underneath the gap here or between the gap at the top. I'm going to say probably at the bottom because you're going to want to roll him over the top. So not only do you have to find a piece of rope that's going to hold the figure's weight, but have enough line that it's going to be done at an angle, and then you've got to set it all up yourself and basically either build a wood plank system or anchor it to your wall to get it to happen. That's just not on. Like, even just a piece of string and some decent suction caps or something would have been a way better idea than just including the zip line itself and going, hey, guess what? You're going to have to do it yourself. So, that's Raphael. I'm going to put him offside because I want to use him as a comparison piece later. Moving on. Donatello. Yes, you can probably get it to the point where he holds the staff. It's just, while this does flex, once again, it is probably one of the straighter weapons that you can have. And you can remove it, like fix it up and everything else. Donatello has the back piece, but I'm not even going to try and insert it in that. That does not look like it's molded correctly, but that could have just been because it's been sitting in the package. So I could probably fix and remold that later. Now, Donnie's little thing, he comes with probably the weirdest accessories. A sword and an axe, which you can attach to the end, so you can create sort of a Chinese spear of sorts, or you can attach both and have this monstrosity. Like, for the guy who does machines, who was sort of more of a pacifist of anything, they've given him the most insane weapons, accessories. Like, not even anything that's technology based. Like, this looks like something that's straight out of Conan or something, you know? Like, that's insane. I really don't know what to say about that. Like, that is one of the weirdest choices I've ever seen. But I guess that'll take care of Donnie. And then we finally come to Mikey, Mr. Party Guy. He has his chucks as he's supposed to. You may have to maneuver them around. They are very tight in the hand joint. Like, extremely tight. Like, you can hear that plastic creaking. These nunchucks do not function. They do not bend. They are stuck in that one little pose forever. Which is a bit of an improvement when you take into account the 1988 version has some of the most brittle plastic on the planet, and because of that, like even my the 88 Mikey reissue that I have out of packet, even his nunchucks are absolutely gone, like brittle, snap, bang, gone, bye bye, because they're that brittle. Like, and that was in about a month of having them out of the box, and I'm not going to try and fix them. What I would love to see is something that they did with the Classic Collection, which was they had like small plastic chains where these bits are, and they were flexible. You could spin them and do all the fun stuff. So that was what worked really well. Now, Mikey, again, it's another one of these really weird situations, as I'm going to sort of try and surprise you with it. He comes with a little grapple deal. So, he can go up and down. Like, it's just a pull string. There's no clip, no hinge, no nothing. Again, you've got to find something to attach it to. There's you don't even have like a suction cup hook or something you can put on the roof or a wall or a window to have him just sort of go down. And the weight of the character is way more than this thing can handle. Like, it's going to be hard to show on camera, but I'm going to hold this at the end, and I'm just going to let him go, and he drops down straight away. So his full weight is going to be hanging on the end of this most times. So if you want to sort of put him in the middle of something or have him hanging up the top and then do some sort of drop action, you better make sure you got somebody holding this at all times, because as soon as you let go, that weight just goes straight through that string. Like, there's not much there. But at least it's something interactive, which is interesting, at least. And once again, tight hand joints. So that's the four boys. But before I'm done, I want to do one more thing. I want to go through a few of the differences that have come through in multiple years. And for those of you that are wondering about the Leonardo, he's still hanging. He's still hanging. So, here we go. This is the evolution of some of the collection. These are taken out of my personal collection. Starting with the original 1988 Raphael. He is a soft head, as you can see where I squeeze the cheeks in. This is a rubber head. This is one of the original era molds. As you can see, he only has up and down, rotation at the elbow joint, and even you can see like the plastic on the sides, they're not that good. And his legs are on a ball joint. His gear is probably the better representation because at least putting him in the front here doesn't bend the plastic too much. But he also had like an extra piece you could put in the back there. So that was the original. That's the OG. Now, this one, it's a 1988 as well. I believe I can prove it. Oh, this is a... Yeah, 1988. It's a bit hard to see, but he's got the stamping there on the tushy. This is the version 2. This is the one with the more solid plastic head. Same deal as the other one. Then you've got, obviously, the 2003, much taller, longer limbs, more accurate colour stylings in the way he looks. I'll even zoom in on that for you. So you've got Soft Head, Revision 2, 2003. That is the Retro Collection version. That's the new, probably the closest thing to the newest re-release that we've got. Again, he's just a replica of those, but I don't have size for him. And then we have the Mutant Mayhem. Now, the Mutant Mayhem, as you would have seen in the previous review, has better articulation with wrists, elbows, shoulder joints, hips, knees, and feet being rotation. The head rotates 180 degrees, and the size at the front. So when you look over time, like, the basic molds were very, very basic for the time. It's probably the same thing as He-Man. Whereas we work all the way up to this, and things have changed a lot in figure construction. But it's just good to see when you have a chance to sit here overall and see the evolution of a figure at a time. Out of all the ones that are sitting in front of me here, I will say the 2003 is the closest to the actual design from the show, while incorporating a bit of the classics, and you can see how we lead to the modern. With this particular set, they are pretty cheap. I think they go for about $25 a piece retail here in Australia, probably cheaper in the US, or depending on where you get your toys from. The collection is pretty good. It looks good on a shelf. I hope to see more of the lines. A lot of these have been done previously in the previous retro collections. In the box collections, we've had the 86 line, we've had the 91 movie line, we've had Sports Turtles, we've had Pizza Shooters, we've had Storage Shells, we've had obviously 2003, we've had 2012, we've got Mutant Mayhem now, and I think outside of Next Mutation, we don't have anything else when it comes to these
Turtles left to re-release. So basically, if you're a Turtles fan and you're looking to complete your year collection, these are a must-have. If you're your average, Joe Blow, want to get these for your kids, I'd probably recommend getting these over, say, like the '86 re-release. Though, if you can still get the Mutant Mayhem stuff, go for the Mutant Mayhem. Otherwise, they're a good runner-up. There's a lot of articulation in them, and you can see that they are a good thing to have on the shelf. As you can see in the background, they look really nice in there. Collectors, go for it. Turtles fans, go for it. Your average person who want to get these for the kids, they're a little expensive. I believe the Mutant Mayhem ones are a lot cheaper. So if you're getting something for your kids and you want to start them down that turtle collecting road, Mutant Mayhem's the way to go. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder to pick up these collection sets down the road. But I hope you've enjoyed the look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 Retro Release Collection. I know I'm happy to have these in my collection. I'm happy that the people over at Head Start International were able to send me through a set, which is the open set that you have there. The background set is a set I purchased privately for my own personal collection, and I can't wait to show you the extent of my actual turtle collection one day, because it is massive. I have a lot just sitting there ready to go. I'll get around to it one day, but until then, if they want to keep sending me toys to review, I'm going to keep reviewing them. This has been Karl Smart for the Outer Haven. Please jump back to the website anytime I have a further in-depth written review. And also, do the usual, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, toot your horn, send up the turtle signal. I don't know. YouTube gets us to do a lot of things these days. But, again, Turtles fans, 2003 set, go get them.